Hello everybody and welcome back to the Learn Dota 2 League, Season 13, Defense of the Flat Earther, MK-Ulty, Round 2. Here we go.
Yep.
The last match, Ocelot was there. Sadly, he went back to the
His,
bathroom at Shoney's.
yeah. PS Pass.
10 seconds remaining.
Thirsty Banana appears to have usurped the position of captain of Defense of the Flat Earthers.
Oh, that's fun.
This time he saw a
Maybe
lot
it's
of very
just
interesting
X3,
performances.
X3 on an alt account. He's got two
Yeah.
PCs.
Yeah, playing two as just
So
like how
he's-
Rada was
he's
playing
not there.
Dusty last season.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't know who's playing the account this season.
5 seconds remaining.
Interestingly, you can definitely see what an effect that Pit Lord had on them in the last round, and I definitely agree. This round, the second they get the chance, they just knock him right out of the
Yep.
pool.
Banning techies. So well-known techies picker on MK-Ulty.
I don't know. Man and Kunkka, they're letting the Huskar through, huh? Now that
Yeah,
is a
they're-
challenge if I've ever heard it.
They want him to pick it, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe, honestly, if I'm MK-Ulti, I'm picking AA and Huskar in this set.
10 seconds
Unless they
remaining.
pick AA right now, I'm picking AA and Huskar in this set.
5
Honestly,
seconds
with
remaining.
them having the second ban, I'm surprised they didn't just ban like one of the Huskar counters there. That would definitely make it a lot
Dire
safer.
team pick.
But
Windridge
got a Windrunner.
at your service.
first pick Windrunner is a good response to the Pit Lord being knocked out of the pool because Pit Lord, one of the best heroes to respond to that.
Yep.
5 seconds
There
remaining.
are others, of course, but
Dire team pick.
got the Ogre Magi. Hope we see as much Ogre Magi in this tournament as we did in Season 12.
I'm sure we will.
10 seconds remaining.
Because Ogre Magi is a very fun
5 seconds
hero to
remaining.
watch.
Great. What are you thinking out the rest of the lineup here, if I had to guess?
Honestly, they're probably just talking over, do we pick Huskar or not here?
Yeah.
If they're not, they should be. Absolutely, they should be. Huskar is such a game changer this patch, especially at like an MMR level that LD2L is at. Every time you have the
Radiant
opportunity, you should at least be thinking about it. They've got a Dazzle, which isn't Huskar, but goes well with them. I think there's maybe prep work being done, assuming we don't get a Huskar in. Immediately followed by an Axe.
Okay.
It's a little nasty. It's not somebody Huskar likes for sure.
Yep.
Obviously, somebody Dazzle never wants to see.
For sure.
10 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
No Viper. Is that just for X? Doesn't want to sit there taunting in the Viper goop, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty nasty against X.
Pretty nasty against Windrunner too, as long as he's not explicitly laning
10
against her, I feel
seconds
like.
remaining.
Even if he's laning against her, I think it's a little better than it looks on paper.
5 seconds
You know,
remaining.
it's you have to
Radiant
play
team
it
ban.
very smart, and you have to be willing to throw some of your mid game away to win it. But you can do it. But in
Yep.
that mid game, it'd be very, very nasty against Windrunner.
Ten seconds remaining.
No Jakiro, says MK-Ulty.
5 seconds remaining.
No surprise there, Jakiro. Just large enough support right now, I feel like. If you're not going to pick it, he'd probably are pretty much always looking at a decent excuse to ban. I think
Yep.
legitimately every support player right now plays Jakiro. Like, every single support player in the world plays Jakiro.
Yes.
Every single support player in the world picks over or plays Ogre Magi. They are two very universal heroes at the moment. Rather
sure.
simple as well. Ogre certainly simpler than Jakiro, I would say.
It's like how Lion was a couple years back.
Right. No Ursa. Looking at that Ursa again. Interestingly enough, I think maybe the Ursa targeting is for Mickle, because I think Ursa is Mickle's, like, more or less signature hero. Though I believe
Yeah.
Mickle has signed himself to
10
a
seconds.
season of
Radiant
mid,
team ban.
Yep.
so it's not really terribly pertinent. It's one of those, one of the many non-mid mains playing mid this season. Which I think make up, like, the super majority. Especially with US Danny off mid, I think make up the super majority of the
10
teams.
seconds
Like,
remaining.
Otto's not a mid main, Bullet
Yep.
not a mid main,
5 seconds remaining.
Kai is not a mid main, Mickle is not a mid main. I think, who else? Iceman's obviously a mid main. But,
Definitely seen some new faces in that lane.
yep.
Dire
Maybe I
team
should have been
ban.
more aggressive with the advertising of the Randy Memorial Cup. See if we get them in. If I could have gotten the prize that I wanted for the Randy Memorial, you know what? I'm just gonna say it actually here live on stream now because the moment has passed. There's not really any consequence for false advertising for something that has already passed. I really wanted it to be
10
the winner of the
seconds
Randy Cup
remaining.
would get to pick the theming of the teams next season, but that was done at a
5
time when I
seconds
thought I would have
remaining.
at least a week before draft. Not literally,
Huh?
it ends the day before.
That's life.
That's life in the big city. Never really got it approved, never really... Unfortunate. And it's a bit unfortunate because I feel like if I did that, we'd certainly have probably seen... Well, certainly have seen some more signups here, potentially. And maybe Esper wouldn't have backed out at the last moment, forcing us to beat her up on the street. Not really banning the Huskar counters there. They're actually not really seriously considering it, it feels like. At the very least, if they are, they're holding it off. They're not making it look like they're going to pick Huskar here.
10 seconds remaining. Pick.
I'm sure they pick it.
Got a Bloodseeker.
They'll probably last pick it, if I had to guess. Because, X3 team has already shown that they don't want to ban it, or they would have banned it already, so...
Right. Got a Bloodseeker. And you know, X3, of course, captain of the team. Definitely knows Kid Dynamite.
5
Spent a
seconds
whole season
remaining.
playing together. There's the knowledge there.
Like, we
Bloodseeker.
both know that if you wanted to ban it, it would be banned already, so they
Yeah.
know they can pick it last if they want to.
Bloodseeker coming out. Good pick against Windrunner, good pick against Axe. Not the most powerful hero in the world, certainly. I don't think anybody's going to be calling Bloodseeker overpowered right now or anything. But against these two guys, it really messes up their day quite big time.
Yeah.
And of course, he's part of that exclusive club of people who, late on in the game, if this game drags on, Axe can't really comfortably taunt, or else he just beats the shit out of him.
Yes.
And I was talking about this, funnily enough, before the game started. We got Omni Knight here. Okay, Omni Knight might disqualify Huskar, I don't know. Like, I think you can play Huskar in a world where you have Omni Knight and Axe, but man, is it not going to be fun. And his big-ass Swiss cake roll hammer.
10 seconds
Yep.
remaining.
Alright, that's what it looks like, right? It's a golden Swiss cake roll.
Yeah, it
5
is.
seconds remaining.
Delicious.
Take a big bite out of the end of that. X3 team running out of time here. You do not have a lot of reserves left over for the last bands to pick. That might backfire on them here. They do have, running out of reserve time for your last pick could be kind of deadly. Got Tony.
Okay. Hero's broken.
Yep, just one of the most difficult heroes to do reasonably anything about right now, as long as he's 1. People are trying to run Tiny 3 recently. I don't get it. He brings nothing to the table as a 3. They just play him like a really bootleg version of Tiny 1. That's not what your 3 is for. Don't do that, please.
That's just people who want to play carry, but they can't get their safe lane. For
Yeah,
some
probably.
Reason. They just pick Tiny in 3. It's like, okay.
He's not tanky, he can't bully supports, he doesn't have any utility aside from pushing. I mean, he is
bully
tanky.
supports, but
He is tanky, and he can bully supports. He is technically able to do that. He just needs more than 3 money to do that. I think there are some ones that you can, at least traditional ones, that you can run in that off lane that can, you know, I think people underestimate often the sort of damage they can do low on cash, the sort of damage they can do with 3 money, and how much they can tank and be a nuisance with 3 sort of money. Tiny ain't there. He needs either all the gold in the world or none of it. He gets nothing from having a little.
Yep.
MK-Ulty going to call the reserve time bluff here and basically run out of their own. I would really hate to get my hypothetical last pick banned out here. I would really hate to have my hypothetical last pick banned out here because in either case, if
they wanted to ban it, they would have already.
in either case,
10 seconds
if
remaining.
my last pick is banned, I have to scramble. I have to
5
scramble, make a
seconds
panic ban, I think. Especially if we're using any time on these last 2 bans, which at least the X3 team is. 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, that is in fact all their remaining time. Looking at 1. Banning out the Lie Stealer from the last game.
Yep.
Feel like this is not the game for Lie Stealer in any case.
Team back.
Lie Stealer, probably one of the most situational heroes in the entire game. Like, he is very binary. It's either a very good or very bad Lie Stealer game. There is not really a middle ground. This is not one of those good Lie Stealer games. Outside of Dragon Knight existing, but man, if you want an answer to Dragon Knight, just look at half the Dota roster.
5 seconds remaining. Dire team back.
Did not want to dip into the reserve time there. Maybe putting some stock into the idea of a 2 being the last pick by banning the Void Spirit there, or that might have just genuinely just been a panic ban because they're running out of time.
Well, last pick is Huskar.
Gotta be, right?
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant.
Question is, what's the X3 team gonna pick last? Probably not Chaos Knight. I don't know if I agree with the idea that CKO is gonna be the last one on the board here.
I guess a mid, probably a Spirit.
But could potentially see Windrunner mid, could potentially see Windrunner
10
as a
seconds
support.
remaining.
I think Windrunner's picked his flex here, and they haven't really picked anything
5
yet
seconds
that's gonna make
remaining.
me say no Windrunner mid. Maybe Bloodseeker, but like...
It's a
Dire
safe
team
laner then.
Imbu Spirit. Nope, they are flexing out. The Windrunner should be support here.
Or it could
I
be
don't
Ember
like
safe
that.
lane.
I'm just gonna come out here in public,
I've seen Ember
Yep.
safe lane before. It's possible.
I'm just gonna say, publicly, well, Imbu Spirit's probably not going safe lane, because if he is, where the hell's Tiny
Choose your
going?
hero.
Tiny better not be anything but one this
Offlane, I
series.
assume.
If he's offlane, what the hell is Axe gonna do?
4 Tiny, I don't know. 4 Tiny, 5 Omni.
Looks like it's DK offlane here. Bloodseeker 2. Well, let's say switching up
Guessing
lands, which is
shoot.
possible.
2, 3, 5, 4, 1.
They're actually holding picks just to keep the confusion going longer.
Yeah, true.
They're gonna random in a second.
No, they're not. I don't think that happens.
10 seconds remaining.
Windrunner 2. Ember Spirit 1.
5 seconds.
They're going support
So,
Tiny,
yeah.
okay.
as kind of I said.
And Tony 4. I do feel like Tiny 4 right now. I mean, it can be done. It can be done well. It got nerfed, but it's better than it looks after the nerf still. I just still think it's kind of a, I don't know, like a waste of opportunity. Almost to put Tiny 4 right now. Like, he is the best one in the game. I don't think there's a close comparison. Just be all, end all. Just pretty much like a walking doomsday timer, I think in pretty much any game as one. Really not, you know, you can push him back, that's all you can do. Now, doomsday timer does not mean he wins every game, obviously, or else he'd have a 100% win rate. But it does definitely mean, like, there is a point in the game where Tiny, if he has not been completely wiped off the map, or if he's not just been overrun through other means, will just win. Here's Spaz with his old man axe. That's kind of badly textured. His hair looks more like spikes or something. Like, it looks like you just cut yourself if you gave him a nice pat on the cheek or something. Be like stroking a porcupine.
Yeah. So here we go.
Prepare for battle.
I wasn't going to like something no matter how this went, because I'm not a big fan of Tiny support, and I do not like Windrunner support at all right now. I guess I would say if I had to make the choice, I'd rather have Tiny support than Windrunner, at the very least, so there is that. Say this. God damn it! X3, buy your Smurf a better goddamn PC, bro. That's all I'm saying.
It really is, dude. He's using two monitors.
30
Yeah.
seconds to battle.
I don't know, there's something just like a little off with this Radiant comp. It's just not clicking for me. It's a little harder than usual to place why I don't like it, but I'm just not a fan of this Radiant comp.
The battle begins.
I think they weren't actually sure who Axe was about to fall on there. I think they were assuming it was a toss at Huskar. Looks like Huskar's actually going to be mid this time. They're switching out the lanes here. Because we got a Bloodseeker 1. That's probably okay. Facing up the Windrunner here, mid.
Yep. An okay matchup for Huskar.
Yep. Certainly better than what he would have been
matchup.
facing in the offlane.
Yeah.
You know, in the last match I was talking about how I definitely would have rather had TA mid, and even with them having one, I still think I would have rather had TA mid or TA 1 than mid there. This game I think I would rather have had Huskar 2 than 1. Just because the offlane or the mid lane matchup is gonna be a lot better for him. I think he's gonna more or less scale to the same degree as Bloodseeker. So there's that side of the equation as well.
Yeah.
But definitely the way the lanes look is a lot better like this. The only downside is he's not going to have Dazzle around him for a while. But, you know, Bloodseeker having Dazzle isn't a bad deal either. This offlane is not going to win any awards, of course. Oh, Jesus. I'm glad we didn't do this as the live game.
Yeah. At least there's that.
Holy Moses, bro. Holy hell! Man takes an hour and a half. Anyway, soft lane is not going to be award-winning, but I definitely do not see, well, unless he kind of just tanks with his face a bad trade. I do not see a world in which Dragon Knight dies after he gets level 3, basically, like...
Yep.
But again, I do think this is another one of those casual HUD very good games, like... Just get the cloak, just pick up the casual cloak, and okay, got a tip for Kid Dynamite there for some reason. Get a casual cloak, and they lose, like, Ember Spirit's gonna lose a lot of his damage on you. Gonna be down to Omni Knight's pure damage. That is still pure damage, right? Yep. Maybe down to Omni Knight's pure damage, basically.
His Q is also pure.
Which is, well, yeah, that's what I meant. His Q is still pure, right?
Oh, okay.
C is
I
also
think
pure,
it's
but-
weird E.
And that pure damage is gonna suck. There's no two ways about that. But being able to knock out the Flame Guard, as far as the damage goes, there will make you pretty much unkillable, I think. The Omni pure damage isn't gonna be enough, and Ember Spirit is certainly not gonna be doing enough fizz damage to make you worry. Until then. So far, Last Hit's thoroughly supporting MK-Ultra. All lanes winning, some of them by pretty decent margins.
Yep.
I think Ember Spirit's falling into almost a bait situation here, just being a little too eager to try and run over this DK, try and harass him out, but like, he's not gonna kill him in any case.
Yep.
Not with Ogre, certainly. Alexa Jax wants to be the big bad guy here, but like, even then, that's still not really gonna do anything.
Yep.
Poor Axe was definitely thinking he was getting Huskar this lane, right? Like, in lane phase, if I'm Spaz, I'm sitting there just like, yeah, I can't wait for this, buddy. Gonna go scramble Huskar like an egg. And then you actually get in a game and you got goddamn Bloodseeker, and you're like, ah, one of the most annoying guys to lane against in the entire game. You cannot chip at him, you cannot break him down over time, you just must 100 to 0 him, and that's not something Axe excels at in lane. He's really good at that a little later on. So there's that to look forward to, but for now, he certainly isn't great at that, and you add a Dazzle to the equation, you've got two very unkillable safe lanes.
Yeah, for sure.
That is the downside in the Dragon Knight here, is that even though he himself is unkillable, he's also never going to kill anybody himself. Going to fall a little behind on levels. I do think he's falling for the bait of Omni Knight just a little too much. Like, you could definitely ignore this guy to a good degree. Just keep yourself going. Oh! Goodbye, Axe.
That is very sad.
Yep.
Gets Peaches for it at least.
Yep, just going deep to try and get himself a nice first blood, but...
Oh, he dodged to that silence. Very good.
Yeah, that was very...
Might still get casually run down. No, it's fine. Oh, Mickle's going for it.
Very brave dive for Mickle.
Okay, good.
And TPing right back to his T1 here. He's just gonna sustain himself back up on the creep wave. Dazzle just gonna show up here, almost just be a ward for a moment, just to check where that rune's gonna be.
Haste.
Does not actually end up getting the haste, of course, but you know how it goes. I guess Paige has got really tired of doing nothing but placing wards last game and decided to cut out the middleman and just be a ward, maybe?
Yeah.
I do think maybe Matt's being a little quick on the draw with his Soul Ring here. There is one thing that should be a sign of discomfort as DK, a sign of be a little more hesitant than you're being. It is most certainly when you're just in a situation where you're casually landing and you're just at half health all the time. That tells me, as a 3 player, as a DK player, you know, hey, I need to cool my jets a little bit or else I'm in a lot of danger. Also, what the hell just happened here? I'm watching this. Gotta see if something happens on this before we look at the replay on top. Okay, nothing's happening here. Coming to Axe. But man, he's taking...
ruptured? Yeah, it's ruptured. Oh my god, and he gets heal bombed.
Yeah, that's
cool.
A little filthy. Once again, X3 in the hot seat. This game's looking a lot worse in this lane phase for the X3 lineup. Windrunner's starting to get some last hits, that's good. But she was like the only one getting even a modestly appreciable amount of farm. Ogre Magi, looking pretty banged up here.
Yeah.
He's actually going to be able to get away.
Yeah.
Feels like Godlike Matt desperately needs this level 5. Like, he just super duper needs to get this 3rd level of his E already. So he can stop being in just like the sweat range.
Yeah.
Windrunner has parlayed her last hits here at mid into an urn. Probably looking to Spirit Vessel for the some of these guys on the lineup. Just getting rid of some of the Huskar regen, some of the...
Huskar, yeah.
Yep. No surprise. To do anything else would be absolutely crazy. And so far, it's definitely looking like old Antonio is not going to be getting a mountain of kills this game. Or even a mountain of assists at this rate, really. What do you think the... I guess defensive flat earther, okay. Can I just rail on that name a little bit more here? Like, you think it's too late to change that one? It's such a bad name. I already talked about this on our week 1 stream. I just want to talk about it again. I'm sorry, X3, you're my homeboy. You're cool. But your taste in names is god-awful. Pick something better next time you kept. It's my biggest issue with your lineup, actually. And the Smurf, you know, but you know.
Possible Smurf.
Ember Spirit at 6 has suddenly started getting last hits. It's not 4 words, but you know, 4 words wasn't enough to make that point, unfortunately. Oh my god, X3 going deep into the jungle here. Getting ruptured and then dead. X shows up to think about doing something about this, but man, he just can't. Again, I just like to say, just the decision to swap out the lanes here, it's like, it really worked out for this Mickle lineup. It's a very good idea. I don't know who suggested it, but whoever that was, a good idea.
Yeah, for sure.
Bloodseeker has just been seen nothing but success in the top lane up here. And while Ember Spirit is starting to get some last hits, still not really that competitive compared to Huskar. Really, all DK needs is like to not just rush his Blink Dagger, and that would even stop. Very casual use of I believe the first DK ult here.
Yeah.
Just wants to force Ember Spirit out of the lane for a minute. Just get himself some farm. Are you looking in trouble
Oh
again?
boy. Good. Getting a good dodge of the silence, but almost toy.
The wrong way.
All right.
Doesn't matter. Still gets a kill anyway. This
One of the more
Bloodseeker.
amusing kills.
This Bloodseeker is getting very bad. Very. Oh my god! What happened? How did this come to
Cut.
be? Okay. It was Omni. I thought for a second, I misread the HUD because I thought that was Ember Spirit, and I was like, how?
BK is currently in dragon form, but not in the replay. That's cool.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under
Very
attack.
interesting. Yeah, he turned from a man to a man. That'll
Oh,
happen
yeah.
to you. Man Knight! Bro, get some
Yeah,
goddamn reship, please, I beg you. Every moment I see, godlike Matt, every moment I see you standing in this lane with half your goddamn bar, I'm gonna cry inside a little more. What are you even going to do with Link Dagger this game in a realistic sense, like?
Seems Mickle has decided that he needs BKB in this game.
Does he need BKB in this game? Honestly, I don't think so. I don't agree with this.
Yeah, I'm not
especially
not
now at
sure.
this point.
Maybe for the tiny? For the Windrunner?
It's literally just the tiny actives and Shackle and Power Shot, I guess. I'm Battle Hunger if you're really worried about Battle Hunger for some reason, but that is all.
Well,
Perhaps
he might
he
get
is.
killed by Shackle, so.
Yep.
Okay. No, he won't. Oh god.
Perhaps he
Power's
is.
in a really bad spot right
Yeah.
now. Oh.
Perhaps he is under the impression that BKB blocks the Axe Taunt. It's not true, but
Doesn't-
perhaps
yeah.
he's under the impression. By the way, Ember
bot
Spirit.
lane, everything's collapsing.
Yep, Ember Spirit going to go down to the trio here at bot, the 3 and under club.
Oh no.
Tiny going to show up. He's level 6, so he's got something to say about this, but kind of splitting up who they're going for here.
Tower is under attack.
Kind of stop beating up Omni to try and turn around and hit the Tiny instead. Not a great division of labor, unfortunately. Seems like some calm line issues perhaps going on there.
Potentially.
One runner coming in. Definitely looking for the Dragon Knight there, but going to have to settle with the Dazzle.
Dazzling no more. True healing does not come from darkness past banks.
But yeah, suffice to say, no, the BKB here. Like I don't even understand why, unless either A, he's just following a guy that says to do it, or B, Kid Dynamite just killed Axe somewhere out of nowhere. Uh-oh.
Oh my god, no.
Whew.
Okay. God, that was almost a disaster.
He
I think
still
it's
died!
actually- Yeah, okay. A minor disaster.
And then he got tipped. Anyway, unless he thinks the Axe Call, that's the only reason I can think of.
Dire's middle tower is
Or
under
like
attack.
Ember Rem. There's just not really, I don't think, like no matter how you slice it, there's just not enough, like, things BKB blocks that you are worried about on that team. And just so much they have that goes through it and doesn't care anyway.
My guess is that he feels threatened by the Windrunner.
Maybe. But I mean, if you're threatened by the Windrunner, you build a Blade Mail, not the BKB.
Well, he
Right,
doesn't
like,
want to be
surely.
stunned.
Okay, like, there's one reason you don't want to be stunned, and it's because of the Windrunner roll.
Yeah.
Like, speaking of stuns, that's some stacking of stuns right there, unfortunately.
True. Purge would be pissed.
Yep. Seems like maybe the 3 and under club on MK-Ulty has a bit of calm line issue here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's hard to tell with just, like, you know, one game as demo, but... Funnily enough, I think it's easier to tell when the comm lane is really good than when it's really bad in just one game. That looked a little just messy. X3 lineup taking out the tower in the top lane, while Kid Dynamite takes it out in the middle lane, then just chases Windrunner halfway down for good effect.
Yep.
Got double damage on.
Yeah,
Get a
it's more
very
than a
quick
little
Albert.
scary.
If you want to talk about responses to that Windrunner existing, how about the Heaven's Halberd on the
Yeah,
Huskar
that-
coming out soon?
Just invalidates the hero, basically.
Yep. Finds a chipped vest.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
A good Dragon's Breath at the very least. Not one of the things you say very often. That was a really good Dragon's Breath, but it was. But, you know. That's a good call,
Okay,
too.
that's a super good call.
Oh, man.
You don't have the follow-up, though.
Yep.
Radiant
And Huskar is here.
That's
They
not...
whiffed
Ooh.
the call on him, but it doesn't really matter at all. The 3 and
Yeah,
under
just
club
dies-
did not
dies
have
through
the...
spins.
Yep. 3 and under club did not have the gas in the tank to do anything about that. Gonna lose a Dazzle offside.
Poor Ogre.
Yep, just incredibly dead.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire are scanning.
I know I keep banging the drum on this. It just keeps happening, though.
Dire's
Guy like
middle
Matt
tower is
needs
under
some
attack.
more sustain. It just his whole life is taking place at 50% HP and 30% mana. Man needs something in his life for that.
Haste.
Some net worth. If I'm Radiant, this is the last thing I ever want to see.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, we've talked before. We talked in the live game this week about how Axe can scratch back, because really all he needs, per se, is a Blink Dagger.
Yep.
Well, you
Just
know
a
what
blink
you don't
call,
want to see?
That's all you need.
You don't want to see Axe as your top net worth core.
Yeah, that's true. Because he doesn't scale particularly well. Like,
Yeah.
Axe
He
at
needs a
20
million
minutes
calling
is-
blades.
Axe at 20 minutes is about the same as like an Axe at 40 minutes, pretty much.
Radiant's bottom tower.
This is it for Windrunner. Just gonna run to her own death. Goodbye.
Yeah, very sad. No
That
real way to get out of that.
is so sad. Just gonna get a free T2 here. Kind of looks like it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Gonna glyph for it.
Radiant
The next wave
structures
is
are fortified.
coming right up, so it's not gonna be a very effective glyph. At least as long as they choose to stay. I don't know if they have anything to fear when Windrunner's not around. Like, very crucial part of their team right now. Ember Spirit is
Radiant's
nothing
bottom
like
tower
online.
is under attack.
It's great positioning, but the cult does not do much.
It looked cool. That's one thing.
True.
Invisibility.
If you're playing at home, write in now what you think Dragon Knight's stats look like. If you guessed he's at 50% HP, you're correct. Oh, we just panned away from a rupture there. Throw the
Oh,
axe. Gonna have to just kind of stand and watch this happen to his lineup.
Okay, sick
But
call.
the spins are just killing him. Uh-oh, Axe is
Dave.
gone and Huskar's got the Dazzle. Good blink
all dead.
through by the Dragon Knight. He's actually just standing there blocking the Windrunner. Oh my god, this is a nightmare.
Yeah, that was not what you want to see.
Randy, when we played the Mage Tournament Season 2, there's something that I said when we were looking at the good guys. What was that again? In their Game 3?
I actually don't remember. You're gonna have to
It,
tell me.
it goes like this. If you're playing up against Kid Dynamite, you want to increase your chances to win considerably. You want to make things easier for you. Alright? You can do that with one simple trick. You ban the Huskar. You pick the Axe and Omni to counter Huskar. Wrong! Ban the Huskar!
Yeah, learn from LGD's mistakes at TI, please. They thought, we can draft a lineup that will counter the Collapse Magnus. And then they lost.
I mean, in fairness, there are lineups that counter Huskar. You need AA. There is one hero in the entire game that can really stop Huskar that well. It's AA.
Yeah.
Everybody else can keep him down. There are heroes that he doesn't like to see. But there's one guy that really strictly counters him, and you ain't got him. And now he's got that halberd out. It's getting worse.
Yeah, for sure.
Now he's running with Mickle. It's getting worse. I know they're in Roche, but they're not going to be able to stop that. Smoking out. Windrunner running from a catapult.
Yes, that's ruptured.
Yep, he has to call just to give himself some armor here as everybody beats him up. Dragon Knight doing a good job, just staying at the back of the line, just hitting Windrunner in the kneecaps, just continually just...
Oh my god.
Just continually just dogging the Windrunner, making sure she's just not going to get to the fight the way she wants to. This is looking really, really bad for this X3 lineup. They are down 13 grand against a lineup that I would say, because you have the Tony 4 and not 1, is going to be on parity scaling-wise. Like, I would say probably just a little better late game, but like this is not the right early game to be saying that.
It's a big jump. Ember's. Ooh.
He is gone.
Good call.
It was a good call, but you missed the most important guy to be in it, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's life.
One of the most unfortunate things in the world, Dragon Knight had to get Blade Mail because there's a Windrunner on the enemy team.
Yep.
You always hate to see Blade Mail on your tanky 3s because, you know, it's like I've always said, right? Nothing makes you say, okay, you're right, I should stop attacking you and start attacking your squishy guys instead, quite like a nice set of Blade Mail. But against a Windrunner, oftentimes you just kind of have to get it.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially when you're going up against a lineup like this, where, just to be frank, Windrunner's almost all they got. She is ruptured. Pops at BKB and learns that it does not stop the taunt.
That's true. It doesn't.
Huskar just healing himself. They just can't get rid of him. Omni going down.
Getting dove into base in 24 minutes.
Really good call on Axe, but all I can do is just kind of goad them to try and dive the T4s, but DeVirus is not on this team. It will not be happening. Great Windrunner ult, but man, what does it matter when you got the Dazzle there? It just stops it. Axe goes in, but Huskar's out healing the damage he's doing, even with the Blade Mail up. This is over.
Yeah.
Like, how bad
done.
does this have to go to turn around? Like, they have to mess up real bad at this point.
Okay, that's sweet.
Please. Kid Dynamite at this point is begging people to take this Aegis off of him. And they finally do it. There is one bad sign here, is that through all of that, they didn't actually take T3s.
Yeah, it's kind of an annoying push because they have no tower hitting heroes.
Yep. They get it most of the way down. It's definitely going to fall the next time there's like even the most modest resistance, but... Okay, it is going to fall right now, and so is
Oh
One
my
Runner. Okay,
God.
never mind. This sure got a lot worse really fast!
Oh my god, dude. Ridiculous.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
It's like watching a blind man trying to box. Man, this is just not cool. Just stop this match.
Radiant's top barracks.
It is 9-30. There is a 22k gold advantage. Stop the match. Somebody
Nice.
please throw in the towel.
Nice.
Gonna lose Ogre very casually. Good taunt, but Axe, I mentioned this earlier. Axe cannot live in this taunt. He just taunts and everybody just beats the crap out of him. He just has to leave. That's all he can do. 2 sets of Larks, everybody moving south for the winner.
Has fallen.
And what's going to stop them reasonably?
Is under attack.
Yeah, not much.
Radiant's bottom
Good call, but where are you going, bro? Who just got ulted? Oh, that was Zax. Okay.
Oh my lord.
And really,
Through Omni Ulti.
yep. Really, if you think about it,
bad.
what good is Omni Ulti if you're taking 6,000 damage from Burning Spears anyway?
Yeah,
Thirsty
he
Banana
felt
calls it GG, and finally, this route is over, baby.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
Ouch.
Now have mega creeps.
So the moral of the story is, don't let Kid Dynamite play Huskar mid.
Honestly, right now, you really don't want anybody to play as Huskar. Like, legitimately, I feel like if, like, any Huskar pick in this entire tournament gets through, that team's win rate goes up, like, 5% instantly.
Yeah.
I do think there is more to analyze than that, though, at the very least, because, there's an interesting, just set of effects in the lane phase here. So, just to start things off, I think they walked into a bomb with the Bloodseeker Huskar lane swap here. I mean, the best thing they could have possibly done was just ban out the Huskar, just not let them play it. Just have Kid Dynamite on like a different one. Have Bloodseeker go mid. I think this game goes a million times better in that case, because Spaz gets to live in a lane that is even modestly playable, and Huskar doesn't just walk all over everybody.
Yeah.
It's really a lot of it is as simple as that. Like, so much of this is down to the Huskar pick. I do think if Mickle, I don't know who Kid Dynamite is standing in for. I don't know who the actual one on this lineup is, but I think in swap like this, Mickle does definitely play, I think, a better 1 than 2, to be frank with you. If the guy who is playing one for him is a better 2 than 1, I think a swap might be in order, because I think he played a very strong Bloodseeker game here. He really just dominated in that lane phase. Like, they could not touch him. He was just the way he operated in there. I thought it looked just very smooth. I thought he did everything right. If you're a critic, you're looking at that. It's hard to criticize that.
Yep.
Godlike Matt on the DK, I do think was almost not in this game. I mean, he got 13 A's, that's great, but it's funny because just in the last set we had a DK game where DK had pretty much no impact. This game, Dragon Knight has a dramatically better looking KDA, but just to be frank with you, I feel like at the end of the day he was still pretty much just a blink stun and that's it. It's very unfortunate. I do think the item choices in lane for Godlike Matt definitely could have been better here. Like, if Godlike Matt just casually picks up a, nice big red ring in the middle of the lane phase, like, I don't think he gets to just completely sit on Ember Spirit. And Ember Spirit was like the only thing they had. Luckily, he did not have enough room or time to make use of that, but he did have a good enough lane phase where there was like a potential road to victory at the very least. So to that end, some better item choices in lane phase, I think, really gets him in a better position here. The rest of the game is fine. Like I said, the blade mail's okay. The blink dagger, I think he got it early, funnily enough. I think there is such a thing as getting too early of a blink dagger on DK. Like, really, before you've got like team fights happening, you're not doing anything with that thing outside of blinking out of danger. But you would not need to blink outside of danger if you were not sitting at half HP and no mana all the time. So, back to the original point, right? Itemization in lane could do some work. I think Peaches did a better job of not just being written out of the game this time. Definitely kept up a lot better XP-wise, definitely kept up a lot better as far as having a diverse set of items, being useful for things besides literally just, placing wards, which is good. I think the more if Peaches can strike more of a balance that looks like this, even in games where she's not winning, then her utility, her asset value, her stock, it goes up quite considerably. Run over meat, he was here basically just to throw stuns and just be fat and take some hits. He did fine. On the other side of the affairs, the X3 Tiny, nope, not in your pool, buddy. I'm sorry, that did not work at all. Did not even modestly work. Like, that was really, really bad. And partially that's just because it's an unplayable lane. Axe just crumbles like a biscuit in front of Bloodseeker, and when you're 4 tiny and your 3 is dying every 5 seconds, then you're dying
What do you
every
do?
2 seconds.
Yeah.
I tell you what you do. You leave lane, and he jungles. That's it.
Yeah.
That's really the response here, and that definitely should have been done, but like, look at that net worth. 4,000 gold. Omni Knight has 3k. He probably, unfortunately, he probably gave more money than this game than his net worth overall. Like, he was a pinata. Omni Knight wasn't much better, but god damn, this game did not go well for him, so might be time to send Tiny upstairs to that one department, or not pick him at all, to be frank with you, on this lineup. It just did not go well. And, like, I don't know, this isn't a great game, but this is still not great for a not great game. Like, it's just, try something different. Try something different. So, the best thing I would say to that, it's week 1, right? It's not the most important week on the board by any stretch of the imagination. And funnily enough, I think actually week 1 is probably the least important week overall.
Yes.
But so it's a little fine to be a bit more experimental with what you do, but like this experiment blew up in your face, best not to be repeated. Thirsty Banana Ember Spirit, it just didn't seem like it was doing anything. Spaz built right, I think, for this scenario, but like there was no right option for him here. He was just in too bad of a lane. I think his itemization is still okay. It's pretty much the generic axe items, still all right. I think there is one thing I will say. It is definitely in a situation that is going this badly, you need to learn to let go. Like, you need to learn to just say, Axe is doing nothing but giving Bloodseeker gold all the time. Axe should do something else besides just come to this lane. Like, yeah, it's really bad that Bloodseeker just gets a full lane, a free lane, of just to eat whatever he wants, right? That's no good. But it's certainly better than the alternative of Bloodseeker gets to eat all the creeps he wants and you over and over. Go get some gosh darn money. And it's very unfortunate because at one point he is like the top net worth. He is still the second net worth core on his team. So he is still doing better than everybody else at the end of it. But I don't know. I think this X3 lineup has some draft problems. Like I said at the start, that just doesn't click. It just doesn't work. Nothing adds up to anything. Like, Axe comes in, and then he hits Q, and then what? Ember Spirit hits W on top of it? Okay, that's great at like 70 minutes, but what are we doing until then, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just didn't like this lineup. I didn't really like their execution of it, and it just did not work against the Huskar. Just bowled everybody over. Ban that Huskar, ladies and gentlemen. Ban him left and right this season. You will not regret it, and that is it for this series. So, if you or somebody you know wants to learn Dota 2 on a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2l.gg. It's too late to sign up for Season 13, but stand-ins are all over the place, baby. And I think it's actually going to get even worse as the season goes on. So make absolute sure to show up to stand in for some games for us. You will not regret it. We'll even cast your goddamn game, probably, unless somebody else casts it, but nobody casted shit in week 1, so we're probably casting it. The sponsor for all the games this week is Flashpoint. It's a very noble cause. I would gladly give my money to Flashpoint, so you can play such classics as that weird Ed Netty licensed game on the Cartoon Network website where you're running around throwing food at each other.
Yeah, but that was a good one.
Or the even weirder, like, licensed Flash games from, like, the turn of the millennium that they scrubbed out in, like, 2003 that were really odd, barely used any actual relevant assets, and were mostly just sprite flips of, like, Amiga games and stuff. That was cool. And you could also play... Those are on Flashpoint, actually. There's actually a guy out there who has very specifically gone in and, like, tracked down basically every licensed Flash game to specifically
That's fun.
archive there. So, yeah. Or you could play an actually good Flash game. You could do that, too. Hey, well, it wasn't all winners on old Adobe Flash. And, yeah, we'll see you next time.